welcome to the webinar, The Future of Teaching and Learning Conference, AI Application in Project Management and Beyond. My name is Veniamin Kizeev. I'm a global head of Smarter University SIG IPMA, and today I'm moderating this webinar. First of all, a few words about us, about Smarter SIG groups. The Smarter SIG University exists to promote project management excellence within and across universities by connecting university leaders and teams, delivering best practice, standards, and education, and providing opportunities to network. To be honest, we have a lot of opportunities, and I want to say thank you, many of you, because you connect for emails and you share your experience and you give your ideas. It is super nice. And you can enjoy every SIG in two ways. As an expert of activities in project management, you can be a speaker of events, participate in research group, participate in the preparation of new standards and other products, and collect best practice for transforming universities. And you can help us join organizational activities, different events, research groups, and so on. If you have some interest, please feel free to contact us. Here's our emails, and I will also send these emails in the chat. Okay, come back to our agenda. And today we have really great speakers, first of all. Today our speakers, Professor Dr. Martina Huiman, Professor at VU, Vienna University of Economics and Business and University College London. Professor Dr. Kirsi Aaltonen, Associate Professor of University of Oulu. And also we have people from business side, CEO and founder of the online platform Distant Global, Natalie Ababi. And we have our, I want to say customer, but I suppose it's our future, to be honest. We have also Willy Laksa, master's level students in Industrial Engineering and Management Unit. And we will be glad to your question. You can write them in the chat. You have this opportunity, or you can use Q&A section. It's up to you. And today we have really hot topic. We discussed before these webinars that it's really hot theme. And our topic today, AI application in project management and beyond. And I suppose we prefer some free discussion. I stop my presentation in this point, and I ask our first question to Martina and Kirsi about some history of this topic, not only about this topic, but also about your project. I know that you will soon be hosting the AI application project management and beyond conference, which is a part of the Erasmus Plus project. Tell us, please, why you choose this topic and what result or maybe some conclusions have already been achieved in the project. Martina, Kirsi, with the first.
Yeah, thank you, Benjamin, for hosting this important future-oriented topic. I think this is something that is very close to our hearts to further develop universities and teaching and learning. And yes, we will have the conference in May, and I will say a little bit more about that later. The project, some context on the project is that in 2021, we were kind of thinking a little bit forward. Yeah. So we were saying, okay, what is the next step? So we were actually, before the ChatGPT hype was around, we were thinking how could we further develop and also go more into technology. And Oulu University, and Kirsi will say a couple of words about that, they, for me, are really forerunners. Yeah? They're kind of always on the front, very technology driven. And so we joined forces together with Oulu. Oulu is also leading this project, Reykjavik University, Politecnico Milano, and VU Vienna. And we applied actually several times for funding, and finally we were able to be co-financed by Erasmus Plus. And so our interest was right at the beginning that we want to kind of increase the learner experience. This is also why our project is called Chat Learn. Yeah, so it's kind of the learning that is in the foreground, the importance of the learner and the learning process that should be personalized and come into the foreground. Yeah, we already achieved some results. So Kirsi, do you want to give a little bit more thought on it?
Yeah, I'm happy to do that. Thank you, Martina. Yes, so as Martina told, the project focus has been on developing educational chatbots for project management, teaching and learning purposes. And what's at the core is that these kinds of educational chatbots, we also see that they allow for the personalization of education and therefore support both the teachers and students. And about the results, so to date, we've, as one work package, we've conducted a literature review and analysis, interviewed experts regarding the technology mapping and synthesized information on that and about the impacts of educational chatbots on learning and teaching. And then we've also, within this project, we have been developing our own PM tutor chatbot, creating content for the chatbot and piloting it with various student groups in our different partner universities. And beyond training users in basic project management skills such as schedule and risk management, the PM tutor also includes a case study segment for deeper knowledge acquisition in a case teaching format at the moment. And our tutor is based on IBM's chatbot technology and Watson technology. But as Martina told, also the kind of the interest towards these generative AI large learning models really got attention in 2024 because of the introduction of ChatGPT, and we've also then integrated the ChatGPT functionalities to our chatbot. And what I see important in our project is, as Martina told, we were looking already forward in 2020, so I see that we've gained a lot of also experience in developing educational chatbots, and these kinds of pilots have also allowed us to explore the potential pedagogical frameworks for such solutions and to also learn from this venture. And what we see, it's really much a pedagogical endeavor as it is also a technical and technological endeavor.
Super. I really like your style, how you say about this, how you tell about this story, because 1 year ago we discussed about this like some future, like some vision and so on, but you also have some prototype of chatbot. But today your style, it's like it's not future, it's nowadays, it's technology which we use, and it's super interesting. But I asked this question around the world for different universities. Do you use chatbots? Do you use AI technology? And in many cases, people answered, no, we don't think about this. We don't use this. And my second question in this case, do you think teachers are ready to use AI service in education process? Or maybe they have some fears about AI, and I know that there are a lot of discussion about some fears of teacher and other stuff in the university about AI opportunities. What do you think about this?
Well, if I may, I think that this is, the main reason why we went forward is to use this project for experimenting, and getting some experience and applying it and see how far you can go and what the implications are. So I think many lecturers and teachers have not had the possibility yet, to really get involved into it. I think that will also depend on the universities, and I do see very big differences in the universities, and therefore also in the kind of openness to apply, to adapt, and also in the openness to change, because there is a change that is asked for, and the change is not only the change of how you apply the learning, but the changes in the whole university, more or less, because you also need to have guidelines. You need to understand how far you can go, or you will need to give guidance to lecturers. You will need to also educate them how to do it. There was a tool development that is included, but there's also, as Kirsi was saying, very much the learning process that needs to be rethought. Yeah, and so I would think that the universities and therefore the context in which teachers today are and lecturers today are is very different. I would think that learning institutions, training, consulting institutions, they are partly quite quicker in adapting it. Yeah, so this is my observation.
Yeah, completely agree. Kirsi?
Yeah, I can also
yeah.
tell about my observations. So from my university, particularly, so certainly I think that a lot of discussion at our university revolves around the impact of these new technologies on learning. And I can definitely see that there is drive and motivation to learn how to use these new tools and AI-based services. And I've seen already quite many fruitful experiences and applications developed by teachers. Of course, I cannot speak for everyone, and I think that there is also kind of division with regard to the opinions and attitudes towards these new technologies. So some teachers may be more concerned about the risks and negative aspects about the ethical and responsibility concerns and so on, which are really important. And while others are more now interested in these opportunities and experimenting different things. And what I see also, what Martina was talking about, I really see that this is kind of a joint also co-learning opportunity with our students. So at least in our university, a majority of our students are using these tools in their different learning related tasks. And I think it's also a really nice opportunity for us as teachers to learn together and being in a way on a joint learning path here, learning together to experiment and see how these new technologies can be used in a manner that they support the learning and also the teaching processes most effectively. And training is really important from the university perspective over here. So, and of course, the official policies, and for example, in our university, they have been created about a year ago, and then we are now also offering different solutions also for our students that are available in this area. But I also mentioned the concerns, and there are, of course, many concerns related to the potential, for example, misuse of these solutions in using them in such ways that they don't support learning, their misuse in assessment and evaluations and so on. To some extent, I think that this concern also stems from the uncertainty and lack of knowledge and understanding in some cases. But as I said, it's really important to consider these different also privacy and ethical issues and risks related to these new tools. But maybe as Martina was telling about the fundamental change and transformation, so that's really the key. And I think that we still have a lot to learn and think about that. Does this eventually also somehow change the way we learn and we build knowledge? And I think we are still in the process of understanding these dynamics. But it's really also really interesting and inspiring to be now acting in university in this role and to see this change, which is ongoing.
Yeah, if I just may add, I think we are in a very early stage, kind of in the universities, and I'm very happy that University of Oulu, represented by Kirsi here, you already have so much experience also with technology and the use of technology and also gaming. So I would see that universities like Oulu University, you are already very forward thinking, and there's an openness by everybody at the university to just try it out. And I think this is really what needs to be there to be able to change the learning and to change and to further develop the universities, also to get into new and more modern and different modes than we have today. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It looks like if we speak about some new technologies and about people, it's always people divided to different categories. Somebody have afraid about this, somebody having time for try to some experiments and so on. And I'm happy that there are not small group which is really try to understand how it works and how we can use this in our learning process. It's really nice. And Kirsi, you really told so easy about these technological things, and I suppose try to understand that maybe it's not teacher, maybe it's IT specialist before me. It's a completely different style of speaking with teachers. It's interesting. And in this way, what do you think? How big this influence of AI for university in general? It will be maybe some local automatization of some routine process, or it will be some fundamental transformation of university as an organization, or maybe some business process in general. What do you think? How big this influence of university future? With AI, of course.
Kizzy, do you want to start here?
Yeah, I can do that. So, yes, I personally believe that there's, of course, tremendous potential in automating all the routine processes, and what could be termed as the, in a way, customer service for students. But also what's important is that we can provide them with new and engaging learning methods. And I think that what is so, in a way, interesting in these new solutions is that they offer much more opportunities for more personalized and adaptive learning experiences and processes. So I really think that is the key here. And they are, in a way, not replacing teachers, but they are, in a way, I see them as a kind of a colleague that is supporting our teaching activities. And I also think it's really challenging, of course, to forecast, but I think that we may be witnessing a more, in a way, significant transformation and change in the way that the universities will operate in the future, as AI technologies and also other technologies will develop and maybe offer particularly opportunities for online types of education. And of course, these AI-based tools and technologies support us in learning analytics, in developing and planning our curriculum and new ways of teaching also, what I've seen, and I have a lot of interest towards how these will transform, for example, case-based teaching, and how we can use these AI technologies to offer really more effective experiences of teaching with cases, because I think that there's much potential here also. And of course, I think that, for example, the live learning models could be enhanced by these, for example, educational chatbots. And then there's, with regard to universities, the question is also that how will these new tools and technologies, how will they transfer our research activities? But as I said, there is so much going on with such a rapid pace that it's really interesting to be witnessing this change at the moment.
Super.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Martina, do you want to add something?
I completely agree what Casey said. Just adding on a little bit, I think we're just living in very disruptive times, yeah. And universities, or many universities, they are not so. They have, a lot of them have a lot of tradition. Yeah, so some of them are rather conservative in their approaches, but there's also others that kind of will start changing rather quickly, or have already changed rather quickly. Yeah, so I can see that especially online universities, yeah, that are already quite close to technology, and also have attracted students that are quite close to technology. They are already working with AI, so chatbots very much support administrative processes. A lot of it is already automated and is out there. Yeah. Still, for the learning, I see challenges. Yeah, one of the challenges, and what Kirsi and I share, is that we are very much working with case studies. Yeah, and kind of to put the case studies in a way that we can deliver it by a chatbot. Yeah, that was one of the main challenges I had to face. Yeah, because I wanted to do it in the way I want to do it. Yeah, and so the question is, how can we create something, co-create, and not only use the students, but also co-create with the technology, more or less, what is possible, and also what are other possibilities possibilities I have not thought of. Yeah? So I think this absolutely openness, yeah, of the people developing it, yeah, and also this co-creation understanding that Kizzy was stressing before. I think this is important here, and this is, yeah, what it's also maybe challenging in some of the universities, because that might not fit much into a culture of some universities. It will, of other universities it does not fit that well. I think, and just looking forward into the future, for me, all this technology also questions probably even the existence, yeah, of the universities. They need to probably also reinvent themselves, because knowledge will be out there. Yeah? So what we could more or less help is to validate the knowledge, yeah, to make sure that what people are learning is up to date and correct, yeah, and not fake, yeah. And also steer the process, yeah, of learning. Yeah? So this is probably how I see the development of universities and learning institutions in the future. And I think that university models will become much more, there will be much more variety in university models, also business models that are behind it. And I think there's a lot of possibilities, and I think the only thing which is not possible is to just ignore AI, yeah, and just do not kind of use it. And of course, when I say use it, very important is to have guidelines, also consider ethical aspects of it, yeah, so not kind of blindly using it. But I think this is why maybe it's a very complex package we have to deal with and unpack, yeah, because it's not only the technology, but it's changes in organization, in how we deliver learning, also in changing of universities, of the whole system that I would see forthcoming. Yeah.
Thank you for these words. One of rectors, I don't remember which university, but I remember his speech. He told that only two type of organization so like tradition. It's church and university. We so like tradition. And you told that it's really maybe technology today, it's maybe some driver of changing, and it's maybe some board of future for some of them, because we see that industries are changing very fast with digital transformation, and for universities is a new challenge, and we need to do this. And hopefully new AI technology can help us in this process, and we really can think about be safe in a equal position. Like now, we need to think about our future. Thank you, Martina, and thank you, Kirsi. I really appreciate your approach and your vision about new technology. And I want to ask also Natalie about some business side, because I know that your company is developing IT tools for education. And please, can you share maybe some experience and answer it for professional development? Is it hype, or is it maybe some AI routine in your project? Tell us, please, some words.
So if you don't mind, I will start my presentation, because I think the answer on these questions is in it.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Do you see it?
Yes.
Great. So, dear colleagues, I'll tell you a couple of our cases about use of artificial intelligence in education, particularly using it in LMS platform. A short look to make it clear about further cases. Our distant global LMS platform helped to implement and manage any pool of educational events within an organization or a project. And before we move on to a serious topic about artificial intelligence, let's just vote. Which of these cats do you think was generating user AI instrument? Please just write down the answer in our chat, or just think about it a few seconds.
It's a difficult choice, to be honest.
Okay, then just 5 seconds.
You can just type, please, dear participants, in chat. What do you think? What's a cat?
Yeah, thank you. We can just think about it. Yeah, we have also answers in our questions from May to Burik. Yeah, okay, thank you. Thank you. Someone has probably already guessed, but I'll say all 3 cats are the result of a generative AI model. The cats were drawn by using the Midjourney service, and all of these cats were created by AI. And so at the beginning, speaking of whether the use of AI is a hype or mainstream or so routine, I'd like to show you this chart. So ChatGPT reached its first million users after 5 days of launch. For a minute, the social network Instagram took 2.5 months to do this. Yeah. And yes, of course, 2 years ago, it was a hype. But just like now, the appearance of ChatGPT assistants is still hype. But the use of AI instruments and AI solutions, including for the educational process, is already the norm, I think. And I like also this McKinsey research. They just analyze which technologies could be used in any particular area. And what I would like you to pay attention is to that the AI brings benefits to implementation across all the industries and all the processes. So just think about it. And now regarding to education, the online educational market is growing, and it's clear that AI will be able to increase the margins of such products significantly. And we also decided not to lag behind and just determine where we will implement AI in general and why. And the most important thing, in my opinion, is to begin with these 3 questions. The first one is what is the purpose of implementation? The second one is what data will form the basis of this training? And just a third question, how we will implement it. And if you look at the percentage, to my opinion, it's important of implementation. It's not more than 20%. It's more important to define the goal, what we want to achieve with AI, and whether we have enough data, because the data here is the main stop signal. If we don't have data, we cannot do anything. Okay, and we got into AI when it wasn't yet a mainstream, and now I came across the UNESCO research and on generative AI and its application in educational platform, and these pleasantly surprised me because we have actually we are currently implementing what they are written on this slide. So the first one is co-designer of the online course from both a content and marketing packaging perspective. And the second one here is a chatbot educational assistant. It's like a mentor who is in touch with you 24 hours, 7 days a week, who will just help the listener at the moment. And for the leader of the educational process, for the manager of the educational process, this mentor will collect all the data about most difficulties arise for the listeners, for example. And our first case, which we did back when there was no ChatGPT available, more than 50,000 people started on our platform. And of course, we had a task to increase efficiency. The goal is to bring students to complete the training program as much as possible. But if you do this with the help of mentoring people, it's very expensive, because in a day of such high quality contacts, one mentor can make, well, no more than 100 for sure. And our task was to optimize the cost of such mentors. And the first thing was we did to identify from all the entire student base, based on indirect science, those who would most likely decide to complete their studies in the near future, who will just pass. And for example, the system tracked difficult lessons after the crawl, most likely difficult arise, or an indirect sign, for example, that in a particular training, the specificity of the students is such that in April they have difficulties just in a month, yeah. And at the next step, the system highlighted to the mentor, to the people mentor, yeah, exactly those students who would follow. And for the 50,000 students per day were no more than 100, maybe 200. So instead of having 100 people mentor on staff who would work with each user, we have only 2 or 3 mentors were enough for us. Yeah, it's just a great decreases. And the second case is from last year when AI began to be introduced in our life everywhere. And this is the case about Pennimin SaaS. And here we put together an online course entirely using AI tools. And the AI collected everything. So the structure, the content, and then the picture also. And this young man here, you see it's a digital avatar who is a lecturer, who led all the video lectures. And the third case, also it was about using it now. So we use it now. Our task is to introduce tools into our LMS platform so that our clients organizing their training school on our basis, they could greatly reduce the time of process by developing of online course or and reduce the cost of supporting students too. And at the same time, they do not require any specific knowledge in the field of prompt engineering because we have here a black box here in the near, and they just don't even see how the best scenarios are generated. They see their just simple query and then the final result of this. And this is just for fun. That's me, but I'm talking German. And please watch the lips, because the whole avatar not even talks German, but it seems German-speaking avatar. Just a few seconds of the beginning.
Hallo! Schauen wir uns meinen ersten Video-Avatar an. Meine Kollegen werden mir bestätigen, dass ich vor etwa 8 Monaten ein solches Startup konzipiert habe, es aber nicht genügend Ressourcen dafür gab. Weder meine Körper...
Ja, das war einfach... this short case just introduced us that we don't even need to learn another languages, yeah, to produce some specific educational courses for another country, yeah, or just for another student. Okay, so my name is Natalie, and please feel free to write me if you have any questions, dear colleagues. Thank you.
Thank you, Natalie, for your presentation. It will be funny. Some webinars just use digital twins, digital avatars of all of participants and write them text, and they speak with each other without real people. And who knows, maybe real people don't find some difference in this process. From your speech, I understand that business tries to find in new AI technology some new tools for decrease cost, increase in other case speed, and of course agility. Is it true?
Actually, yes, because when we speak about business, yeah, of course you have to increase cost or just to find another way how to make money, and it could be more than one purpose. So at the first time, you just can find different business models, to find new business models on your business, and another side, you just can find a way to decrease costs. As in our first case, yeah, we just find how to make a great decreases, yeah, in this cost to pay for mentors.
Okay, yeah, thank you, Natalie. And my next question for the hero of all of this process, especially of university, Vili, I want to really ask you, and I really want to know your opinion about future of AI. Tell us, please, from all of students, are you ready to use AI in the learning process? And what are the pros and cons of this, in your opinion?
Yeah, thank you for this question. I think that students are quite well prepared to use any new technologies. And in that sense, I don't see AI as any different. For example, the online lectures have been going on for a few years, and it has been going on quite smoothly. So in that sense, I think students are quite ready to use AI. And for the pros and cons, I see the biggest upside to using AI is the easy availability of getting feedback, because it can be sometimes quite hard to maybe get feedback from professors, as their time is usually very limited. And in that sense, it's a huge opportunity to have someone who answers to your questions about a specific topic at any given time. And to that, the limitations are actually quite close to that, because I say the biggest difficulty is in ensuring the quality of those answers and making sure that they are actually up to the standards of the professors that you get from, for example, ChatGPT.
Super, thank you. And during your speech, I think about one idea that for you, for students, it's like digital technology world. It's like native world. For us, it's we are a guest in in your world, but for you, it's super native. Thank you for this answer. And what AI tools are students using today, and for what purpose? Maybe you can say about some concrete example.
Sure. Well, for me, example, I've used it for learning coding. I've found it very useful for that. Also, language. It's very good to try to converse in different language with an AI model. For that is very useful. And of course, it can be used for content generation, which I think it's very popular. It's very popular to use it for that as well. And there are also, I think, some dangers for misuse, of course, in that, but it has some great potentials in that field as well.
I suppose that I don't use a half of that. Thank you for that you mentioned this. And what do you think what do you think? For me, university, it's not only about knowledge, it's also about some spirit of university, some community, and so on. Is the spirit of the university community and communication disappearing due to the development of AI, or not? What do you think?
Well, I can actually tell that the first time I heard that I have to speak here, my first instinct was to ask from ChatGPT, what should I answer? So in that sense, it's I can definitely see the danger of for example, communication being very structured around like AI. If we are taking too much support in AI, and it can, in the worst case, even hinder our own thinking. But I think it's also has to do quite a lot with how teachers give assignments and how they mold teaching around the use of AI and try to make it so that it doesn't hinder the teaching but actually gives to it.
Super, thank you. I see that you're really positive about future of AI plus real world. It's some kind of hybrid universe, but you don't have any afraid how I see. Thank you for sharing your opinion. It's really nice. And we have a few questions. I suppose we answered some of that. Enrique has the first question. Are there a drastic change in pedagogies or frameworks that would require teaching professionals to upskills? What are your thoughts on this? I suppose Martin and Kirsi, it's the question for you.
Yeah, as we were pointing out already before, the contents need to have a rethought and the process. What I learned, for instance, experimenting, is that we need to rather think in learning journeys, that are supported by AI, and not only the AI, but also kind of combining. Yeah, so some of the cases we are doing is combination between really using AI and also having in-class situations. So I think what you want to have the learners learn, yeah, so what should the students take away, and how you design this learning journey is becoming more and more important. Yeah, so it's not easy, and I think this is also where we as educators will need to have more education, yeah, to not only deliver content, yeah, but to design these learning processes.
Thank you.
Yes, I fully agree with Martina. And when thinking about the Bloom's taxonomy in a way as a framework for learning, and there we have at the bottom we have these kind of lower level skills like remembering, and then at the top we have these kind of, for example, creation. And now one idea would be that does AI somehow turn this Bloom's taxonomy also upside down, because in a way with these kinds of tools we could directly start, for example, from the creating together with these kinds of tools. So that's one idea. But what I think is really important, as Martina said, that we really, as teachers, think about these processes and think about the learning journey with these tools. And I'm sure that there will be a lot of new also pedagogical frameworks for how we actually learn. And I'm sure that we'll see a lot of like also adjusted. There was this referral to Bloom's taxonomy, some kind of frameworks that how do these tools, and when they are used, how do they somehow transform our ideas also about learning and teaching.
Thank you, Martina and Kirsi. And dear participants, we answer of all your question. But now I really want to ask Martina and Kirsi, tell maybe a few words about upcoming events, about this conference in Vienna. I suppose that today we show some small part of this conference, some examples, maybe some thoughts, some vision, but it's really a super important topic, and I'm happy that this event will be, and I will participate. It's completely true. And I share one slide about this event, and maybe you just add a few words about the conference. Martina, Kirsi.
Yeah. Thank you, Benjamin. And very happy that you will join us in Vienna. The conference is on the 2nd and 3rd of May at WU Vienna in Austria. And we invite everybody to come and discuss with us the further developments. And I think you could see that we have gained some experience already with learning and using chatbots in learning journeys, but we assume that there is a lot of people out there, and I know that universities are working on guidelines and also ethical concerns. So we want to be a platform and invite everybody to not only kind of listen to us, yeah, but kind of go into a co-creation process and also exchange experience. And showcase and also show their cases, yeah, because I think at the moment I said before that we are still in kind of at the beginning, yeah. So I think for everybody it's very interesting also to see how others have done it, what the applications are, what the learning process is behind, what is necessary, what the frameworks are. And I would say the conference is not only targeted to educators, but I think it's very important that we go a little bit broader and say it's also for university or administrative staff to also understand, for managers in universities, but also for PMO managers, project managers, consultancies, because I think there's a lot of possibilities also of applying chatbots, for instance, onboarding processes in projects. Yeah, think about large projects, about learning specific content also for projects. I think there's a possibility, a vast possibility, and I would really invite everybody to share what they have, and we still have a proposal call out. So just visit our website and see in what form you would like to engage as a somebody bringing a contribution, as a participant, and we are mainly in person there because we still want to have also the feeling of kind of the others, but we also are open for online participation. Izzy, do you want to add anything?
No, I think this was an excellent invitation and presentation about the forthcoming conference, so I welcome you all to join us.
Thank you, Martina. Thank you, Kirsi. I suppose that today we have so many white spots about AI technology and about the future of learning process. And of course, this conference, it's a good place and a good point when you can just collect a lot of different cases, knowledge, opinions, and in the end, you can understand your position better, and you can understand what you can do in the near future to prepare all of this technology, which so fast increasing and developing. Okay, we have two more questions. First question from Yuri. Natalie, did you gather NPS for the courses which were made with help AI trainers or avatars? What feedback, positive or negative? Please put on your mic.
Yeah. Thank you. Actually, we get very positive feedback, more than we expect to have, and the NPC was very high. But of course, we told our participant of the course that it was made with AI technology, and we had many questions. So how have you did it? Please just make a course. So we also want to do such thing, and actually we did it, and we have also great feedback to this course. So how to do something like this? So how to do educational courses on AI technology? And of course, today we have so many instruments of AI. So, and they, most of them are free also, and you can just use it and to make a great experience to your users, to your participants, and also so everybody can just use it and make it.
Thank you. And also question for Willy. I heard that usage of AI is very sensitive on the data availability and amount of data. If you plan to use AI as a copilot or a co-trainer, that means that you have to put huge amount of data into it. Or this is not the case and not the problem?
Well, I think that it depends if how personalized you want to make it. If it has to be very personalized, then of course there is a lot of personal data that goes into the system, and there is a lot of questions of how this data is stored and what is going to be done with it. But I also think that already, at least for me, I have given permission to almost infinite amount of apps to get my data. So personally, it's not a problem for me, but I can certainly see how it could be a problem for somebody.
Thank you, Willy. Okay, dear friends, I suppose we need to close our session because now we in perfect time and 50 minutes. It's a good, and I suppose we achieved our goals. We shared the ideas about conference and some vision about future of AI in learning, because it's really difficult topic, because now we, how I said, have a lot of spot. But for me, it was really interesting to understand that there are a lot of teachers which making a lot of experiments right now, just today, and it's not about some future, it's about nowadays, and you need to be in touch in this process, and in other case, you just will be outsider. And it's really interesting. And also understand that business also use AI very in different ways, very effective, and it's also nowadays. And thank you really, because your positive opinion about the future of hybrid worlds, about AI plus our real life. I suppose I see in this perspective in different way, because I understand that I'm guest in this world, and I need to be more closely with this. And dear participants, thank you for your question and your attention to this hot topic. And please find the links to conference in chat and be a participant. And I'm really looking forward to this conference, be on site, not in virtual only, and discuss with live people about this technology topic. Thank you, Martina. Thank you, Kirsi. Thank you, Natalie and Willy, for your thoughts and your experience. I suppose it's really good preview of conference, and see you on site in Vienna.